AWS CodeBuild Overview. AWS CodeBuild is a fully managed, continuous integration service in the cloud. CodeBuild compiles your source code, runs tests, and produces software packages that are ready to deploy. With CodeBuild, you don't need to provision, manage, and scale your own build servers. CodeBuild scales continuously and processes multiple builds concurrently. You just specify the location of your source code, choose your build settings, and CodeBuild will run build scripts for compiling, testing, and packaging your code. Here are the key benefits. Fully managed build service. AWS CodeBuild eliminates the need to set up, patch, update, and manage your own build servers and software. There is no software to install or manage. Extensible. You can get started quickly by using pre-packaged build tools and programming runtimes. Or you can bring your own build tools and programming runtimes to use with AWS CodeBuild by creating customized build environments. You can extend what you use and run on your own environment to use in AWS CodeBuild. Continuous scaling. AWS CodeBuild scales up and scales down automatically to meet your build volume. It immediately processes each build you submit and can run separate builds concurrently, which means your builds are not left waiting in a queue. Enables continuous integration and delivery. AWS CodeBuild belongs to a family of AWS code services, which you can use to create complete automated software release workflows for continuous integration and delivery. CI/CD. You can also integrate CodeBuild into your existing CI/CD workflow. For example, you can use CodeBuild as a worker node for your existing Jenkins server, set up for distributed builds. Pay as you go. With AWS CodeBuild, you are charged based on the number of minutes it takes to complete your build. This means you no longer have to worry about paying for idle build server capacity. Secure. With AWS CodeBuild, your build artifacts are encrypted with customer-specific keys that are managed by the AWS Key Management Service, KMS. It is also integrated with AWS Identity and Access Management, AWS IAM, so you can assign user-specific permissions to your build projects. This is how CodeBuild works. First, as input, you must provide CodeBuild with a build project. A build project includes information about how to run a build, including where to get the source code, which build environment to use, which build commands to run, and where to store the build output. CodeBuild uses the build project to create the build environment. Then, CodeBuild downloads the source code into the build environment. It then uses the build specification, build spec, as defined in the build project, or included directly in the source code, to run the build. A build spec is a collection of build commands and related settings in YAML format. After CodeBuild finishes running the build, and if there is a build output, the build environment uploads its output to an Amazon S3 bucket. You can also specify in the build spec to send build notifications to an Amazon SNS topic. While the build is running, the build environment also sends information to CodeBuild and metrics and logs to Amazon CloudWatch logs. You can use the CodeBuild console, AWS CLI, or AWS SDKs to get summarized build information from CodeBuild and detailed build information from Amazon CloudWatch logs. If you use AWS Code Pipeline to run builds, you can get limited build information from Code Pipeline.